Well, did you feel it? They did in Shawville and many parts of the region early this afternoon as a 3.9 quake hit during the lunch hour. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Patricia Boal. People across eastern Ontario and western Quebec felt the world around them shake this afternoon. No damage reported, but a 3.9 magnitude earthquake came as a surprise for thousands. CTV's Austin Lee joins us live now with more on this, Austin.
Yeah, Patricia, you mentioned it. It certainly did come as a surprise for many people in our region, some saying they felt the tremble for more than 20 seconds. Here's a look at the epicenter. It's about 20 kilometers northeast of Shawville, Quebec, but the vibrations were reported far and wide. This video coming to us from viewer Shannon Charbonneau in Bryson, Quebec. Footage from inside a garage captures the moment that 3.9 magnitude earthquake struck in that part of western Quebec. The camera here was shaking in this video for about 30 seconds.
We have about 2,000 felt reports on our website so far, and we encourage anybody who felt to go fill them out as well. At over a 100-kilometer radius. We've got some felt reports going as far down as Toronto or Montreal as well, so well felt, but certainly not large enough to cause any damage at this point.
Now, Boucher adds damage generally is not reported unless an earthquake is around a magnitude 5 or stronger. He says there was a 5.3 magnitude earthquake in Shawville back in 2013. Now, we are in part of the Western Quebec seismic zone, and Boucher says it is possible to feel about a dozen earthquakes here every year. Still, this occurrence coming as a shock for many.
You could definitely feel, the only way I can describe it is a buzz in the ground.
It shook the house, obviously, like a train rumbling through it.
I thought it was maybe some blasting, because I know they're doing some blasting, but it found out since it was an earthquake.
Now, experts say people should drop, take cover, and hold on. Take cover under a surface such as a table. If you do feel an earthquake, there is also an early warning network in our region. At a magnitude 5, people would be sent an alert on their phone telling them to take cover. Patricia.
All right, that's good to know. It is always a little scary in that moment when you try to figure out just what's happening. So I'm hearing from a lot of people saying just that. CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, now to some relief coming for drivers. Prime Minister Mark Carney's first move after securing a majority government last night with Liberal by-election wins was to suspend the federal gas tax on gas, diesel, and aviation fuel. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with the details on this. Katie.
Well, Patricia, the Prime Minister says this is a temporary measure that will start next Monday and last until Labor Day. Gas prices are expected to drop up to 10 cents a litre and 4 cents for diesel. The price at the pumps has jumped more than 50 cents a litre since late February because of the war in the Middle East. Making the announcement today, the Prime Minister said the move will be a bridge to help Canadians get over the short-term pressures. Drivers in Ottawa say they'll take any savings they can get.
When we're running a business like this with multiple trucks, so being able to save 10 cents per litre, per truck, per fill-up, it accumulates pretty quick.
I don't know in the end if that's really good for the economy or not, but it's temporary, so I'm glad to accept it. Any saving I'm happy to have any saving I can get.
It's a good news, you know. I hope it does continue, you know, like more than 10 cents.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says the measure isn't enough and that the federal government should eliminate the fuel tax, GST on fuel, and clean fuel charge until the end of the year. And of course, these savings do come at a cost, an estimated $2.4 billion. Patricia.
CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, the plan for high-speed rail connecting Ottawa to Montreal is gaining steam as homeowners in eastern Ontario have been receiving notices that the company, Alto, would like to inspect their land. CTV's Dylan Dyson has been out talking to farmers today following all of this. Dylan?
Yeah, Patricia, farm and landowners between here and Montreal began receiving letters from Alto late last week asking permission to come on their properties to do land surveys. The ask from Alto is that the company could come onto private farmland anytime over the next 3 years, with the company offering up to $1,500 in compensation to do so. Now, in a statement to CTV News, Alto said participation in the land surveys is voluntary and that no field studies would be conducted without consent from owners. Alto adds that receiving the request does not necessarily mean landowners' property will be needed to be acquired for the project, nor that the future train will run near it. But the farmers we spoke with today worry Alto will continue moving forward even if landowners object.
In my eyes, there's no amount of money worth this project for us, so we're not entertaining the idea at any point in time.
I was initially very worried that I could be potentially affected, and now that I've received the permission to enter for soil samples, I believe I will be affected. I'm not against progress, but progress that creates more destruction, it's not progress.
Alto says it is studying a wide corridor between Ottawa and Montreal to build the first part of the rail line with no exact alignment formalized yet. Now, these farmers note that there is no place on the letters from Alto to object to the land surveys. They say they have contacted lawyers to determine the best way to keep Alto's high-speed rail project off of their property. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Dylan Dyson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, Ottawa's Jewish community gathered today to mark Holocaust Remembrance Day, honoring the victims of the Holocaust and the survivors who carry their lives forward. At the National Holocaust Monument, there were prayers, speeches, and a candle lighting ceremony centered on this year's theme, Helping Hand Then and Now, focused on remembrance, but also responsibility. Holocaust survivor Agnes Klein shared her family's story of escape and the strangers who helped them persevere, while leaders spoke about the importance of standing against hate.
My message is that people are people, and that you have to consider them for what they are and not discriminate against anybody.
Seeing all of the people that are here today that came out in the rain that aren't part of the Jewish community, and they were here to show their support, to say we refuse to forget the lessons of the Holocaust, and we are going to apply them in our daily lives. I think that's the message of hope.
Holocaust Remembrance Day is marked around the world, honoring the 6 million Jews killed in the Holocaust during the Second World War. Ottawa police are investigating the second shooting at a home in the Beaconwood Village area this month. Officers were called to a home on Beaconwood Drive near Montreal and Ogilvie Roads around 2:40 this morning on reports of gunshots. Officers found bullet holes and shell casings at the home. There are no reported injuries. Police responded to a similar incident at the home on April 2nd around 10:15 p.m. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. At the Queensway Carleton Hospital, a quiet but impactful pilot project is helping solve a growing problem for new parents, finding a primary care provider for their newborn. A clinical nurse to go out into the community and meet with doctors across Eastern Ontario who are now taking on new patients. That person then matches them with newborns born at the Queensway Carleton Hospital. But there is no guarantee of funding to keep the pilot running past June.
They had mentioned that there was this program at the hospital starting, and so we knew that there was a possibility that we would be able to have some support in finding a family doctor for Charlotte.
It was a massive relief, and once the program was kind of explained, it really clicked. It made so much sense.
Since the program started in January, the initiative has matched more than 200 babies with primary care providers. Well, coming up on CTV News at 5, we'll take a closer look at the temporary suspension of the federal fuel tax announced by the Carney government today. And Jackie Perez is out at TD Place Arena, where the 67s are bringing playoff hockey home tonight. Jackie.
That's right, Patricia. It's game 3, and luckily I took a peek outside. The rain, most of it has left the region. Maybe a little bit of a drizzle moving through, but by this evening we are anticipating mainly cloudy skies. So steady rainfall throughout the day. The region seeing between 10 to 15 millimeters of rainfall. Some areas may have even seen more. Overnight temperatures 6 degrees, cloudy skies. Tomorrow we are in for another round of rain in the morning. 13 degrees the anticipated daytime high. And this gives you a closer look at when we could see this. The radar showcasing that it will be in the early hours, much of it focused in the Kingston-Brockville area, but Ottawa might not be able to escape that rain moving through. We'll get a closer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit, but for now, temperatures across Eastern Ontario hovering between 6 degrees and along the Seaway around 10, 12 degrees. Patricia.
All right, Jackie, thank you. And here's what you need to know. The Ottawa Senators are playoff bound as well, but before then, they will play their last game of the regular season tomorrow evening at home. The Sens host the Leafs at the Canadian Tire Centre. Puck drop is 7:30. As we take a live look at the roads, the 417 westbound slow from Bronson to Woodruff, 417 eastbound slow from Carling to Innis, and a number of collisions on the go as well you'll want to watch out for, including one on the Woodruff 417 off-ramp. Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, taking another look now at a significant announcement today from the federal government. Some relief may soon be on the way for drivers, as the federal government is planning to suspend the federal tax on gas and diesel. Today's radio question of the day is asking, is Carney's gas tax suspension enough?
Well, I like it, sure. I mean, I like it because it saves me 10 cents a liter. But, you know, I just think he's playing with us. He's just saying, well, look what I can do. Now that I have a majority government, I can really do things. He could have done that long ago.
Christy Cameron is here. First announcement now that he does have a majority government. But a lot of people were pushing back when I was on radio today saying, well, Pierre Poilievre wanted more, thinks he should get rid of this completely and give some other relief as well at the pump. So are people thinking this is enough or no?
Definitely not. I mean, you look at how much you're paying to fill up your car. For me personally right now, it's over $100 for our car to be filled up with gas. She is thirsty, Patricia.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
it's expensive, right? And any discount is welcome. But the question is, does the help go far enough? And it's pretty tough to get ahead, as the government is claiming, when you're so far behind. So sure, yeah, we'll take a rebate of 10 cents on gas, but what about rent? What about the cost of your mortgage? What about your car insurance? Not to mention that this relief does not fix the political strife that we're in. We're in a moment right now where the Strait of Hormuz is blocked. I spoke to one economist who said the prices are not going to rebound right away. And so it's probably likely that the government will extend this, I think, beyond Labor Day, because the relief is something that people will want for longer.
If things are not better at that point, right? It could get extended.
Right, and even if things do open up, like let's say, you know, the Strait opens up tomorrow, it takes a while for prices to recalibrate.
Is it a truck, or what kind of beast are you driving? You could just live in that, save yourself those rent costs.
Me with a truck? Are you kidding? It's an SUV.
Okay.
It's an older SUV.
Over
but it's not a
$100,
gas guzzler, though. It's not.
Yeah.
Well, it is now. It is now.
Everyone's feeling it for sure. You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. Listen to Christy Cameron live on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 until 6. And now watch Christy's segments anytime on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel. Well, coming up on CTV News at 5, the Professional Women's Hockey League is set to reach a significant attendance milestone this week. And here's what you need to know. Popular comedian Nate Bargatze is coming to the Capitol. He'll bring his tour to the Canadian Tire Centre this Friday, April 17th at 7 p.m. I hear he goes on at 8:30, though, so I'm hoping I'll be there in time. You can visit the CTC website for tickets. Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Will Trent, R.J. Decker, and High Potential. Another check on the forecast. Back out to the arena at TD Place, where Jackie is ahead of the 67's first home playoff game tonight, Jackie.
That's right, Patricia. This is game 3, and right now the Barber Poles are down 0-2. So is this a must win? Well, I think the fans are going to help support them, and hopefully we get a big W tonight. Now, taking a look at the Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Weather-wise, yeah, it was a rainy day today. Didn't seem like it was going to end, but it seems like there's a bit of a pause tonight. And for the rest of the evening, if you are planning to come down to the game, it's going to be cloudy skies. You could leave the umbrella at home. 6 degrees is the current temperature. And as we look towards tomorrow, we are anticipating another round of rain moving through. This will focus more so in the Kingston-Brockville area. You can see a little bit of that yellow and red. There could be a chance of isolated thunderstorms as well. For Ottawa, it should be rain moving fairly quickly in the early part of our morning, but by the afternoon, mainly cloudy skies, not much in terms of sunshine. Hopefully we get a little bit of that by the time Friday rolls around. A closer look at temperatures, though, yeah, we are warming up much more than what we have seen for today. 12 degrees is going to be the anticipated daytime high. We're going to kick things off at about 6 degrees, 7 a.m., and it should warm up to about 10 degrees by 4 p.m. Again, not much in terms of sunshine. As we look towards the valley, 4 24 degrees overnight, overcast, chance of showers in the early afternoon, 15 degrees the anticipated daytime high. And same thing with the Seaway, 15 degrees the anticipated daytime high. But as we saw in that radar, that we could see a risk of thunderstorms moving in along the Kingston and Brockville area. Now, when we come to Thursday, we will see another bout of periods of rain moving through 7 a.m. You'll see a lot moving through the Pembroke Renfrew area, even around Kingston and Ottawa. It might just miss it, so we might even see the rainfall really focused in the Maniwaki, Mont-Tremblant area, but we are still not likely going to escape the rain moving through. So we're keeping a close eye on this. So again, do we want the rain to go away? I'll take this over the snow and the flurries. Wednesday, 11 degrees is the daytime high. The overnight low is about 8 degrees. 21 is anticipated for Thursday, 18 degrees for Friday. And as you look towards Sunday, yes, we are going to be going back down to -4 for that overnight. Early forecast for the following week will show that there is a slight chance we could see some flurries moving through.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
Ottawa, get ready for a legendary night. The undisputed rock royalty Deep Purple are bringing their iconic sound to the Canadian Tire Centre on August 19th. They'll be joined by special guests, rock powerhouses Kansas and Jefferson Starship. And we're giving away tickets to this incredible show. Enter for your chance to win on our contest page at ctvottawa.ca. Wishing you the best of luck. So that should be it for the rain, Patricia, for at least this evening. Cloudy skies is anticipated, a little damp out there right now, but plenty of time to come down to the TD Place Arena. Puck drop 7 o'clock, doors open at 6.
Will be a blast tonight. All right, Jackie, thank you very much. We want to take a look now at the stories you are checking out right now on CTV News Ottawa.ca. So here's what we have for you. Of course, all of the details on the earthquake. If you want to see just where people were feeling it, maybe you did as well. And this also, Jackie was mentioning that rain, maybe a break today, but more in the forecast tomorrow and Thursday. The ground is just still frozen enough that it does not absorb. It's pretty saturated. So you could see some issues with that as well. Flood warnings in parts of the area, Renfrew County along the Ottawa River. If you want to check which spots are most at risk, you can jump online right there. CTV News Ottawa.ca is where you'll find all of that.
I always admired them from a distance.
Well, coming up, from a distance to up close, this Ottawa senior gets to fulfill a years-long dream thanks to a special contest at his retirement residence. Yes, on a horse. Love it. Here's what you need to know. The original spring craft sale is happening this week from April 16th to 19th. Shop items for more than 150 Canadian artisans from across the country. It's happening at the EY Centre. You can visit the event website for tickets. And if you are filling up tonight, today's cheapest gas price can be found at the Petro-Canada on Bank Street. It's going for $1.67.8 a litre there. A live check on the roads. Now 417 westbound, quite slow from Parkdale to Woodruff. Eastbound, slow from Carling to Innis. 174 eastbound, moderate to heavy from the split to Montreal Road.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. A little cooler than it was at this time last evening. 6 degrees right now in the capital. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
Canada's new government will temporarily suspend the federal fuel excise tax from next Monday until Labor Day.
Amid soaring fuel prices, Prime Minister Mark Carney announces the federal government will be suspending the federal gas tax.
It seemed a bit unfair to have just the English public without trustees and the other two systems retaining their trustees.
One-on-one with Ontario Education Minister Paul Calandra as the province is planning to overhaul the way school boards operate across the province. We'll delve into the changes, including what role trustees will actually have.
Once the program was kind of explained, it really clicked. It made so much sense.
And we'll tell you about a pilot project at the Queensway Carleton Hospital helping families find much-needed primary care providers for their newborn babies. The program needs funding to become permanent. Now, the final 5 other local stories we are following. The province is planning an expansion of prisons over the coming decades in an effort to deal with overcrowding. Ontario's jails have been over capacity for years. Documents obtained by University of Ottawa researchers through a Freedom of Information request show that the province plans to add nearly 6,000 jail beds by 2050. Ontario Solicitor General Michael Kersner announced some details of the expansion plan last year. New data from Ottawa Police shows there were nearly 1,200 bicycles reported stolen across the city last year. That's down from 1,400 in 2024. The top neighborhood for bicycle theft was Centretown, with more than 200 bicycles stolen last year. That's followed by West Centretown with 85, Sandy Hill with 83, and Lower Town with 71 bicycle thefts. Well, the Professional Women's Hockey League is approaching an attendance milestone. The league sits just shy of 1 million fans at games for the first time, with total attendance entering this week surpassing 975,000 attendees. The league is averaging more than 9,200 fans a game. That's up nearly 29% from the previous season.
I always admired them from a distance.
That is 85-year-old Ottawa resident Vincent Pereira doing something he has wanted to do for much of his life. Pereira won a chance to get horseback riding lessons at the Riverview Stables through a contest at his retirement home. The contest asked residents to share their dreams, their wishes. Pereira says he has admired horses since he was a child, but never had a chance to learn to ride, and he was loving this opportunity. And city crews will soon start repainting road lines that faded or disappeared over the winter. Staff say the pavement marking operations will begin on May 4th once the street sweeping is complete. Road paint is typically refreshed once a year, but busy intersections could be repainted twice. Well, that is CTV News at 5. Be sure to join me for CTV News at 6 o'clock. The early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo starts right now.